Hi, I'm Manny Albino, assigned to Station 83, and you're watching Report on Conditions.
This week, we're taking a look at an off-road vehicle accident and 2 structure fires, as well as getting some insight into a firefighter's favorite tool.
Engine 1 with report on conditions.
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine Wood, and thanks for joining us on this week's Report on Conditions. We're starting our week with a visit to Hemet Ryan Air Attack Base, where we will see firefighter Escalante's favorite tool. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Noah Escalante. I'm a firefighter 1 at Hemet Ryan Air Attack Base, and today I want to talk about my favorite tool, which is the chainsaw. So this is a Stihl 500i series saw, and one of our favorite things about this saw that's unique to other saws is it's fuel injected, meaning in smoky conditions we won't lose power and it won't bog down. This is the trigger right here in the throttle interlock. We have the priming bubble that we need to use, the filter, we have the handlebar. These are called dogs. They grip onto pieces of vegetation that you're trying to cut. And we also have the teeth on the chain. This is what's doing all the work. This is cutting. And then we have the chain brake and the chain catch. This is to stop the chainsaw when it's moving so you don't cut yourself. And we also have the pull cord, and this is how you start the saw. Another thing about this chainsaw is everybody at the base who's a sawyer, we all share it and maintain them every day, and we have to make sure they're fire ready after each use. So that means coming back from fires and making sure they're fueled and cleaned and taken care of for the next guy. So on wildland fires, as a heli attack crew out of Hemet Ryan Air Attack Base, we get dropped off right next to the hot flames where the fire is the most active. And without a chainsaw, we're not gonna be able to put in much work. We don't have hose. We don't have water out there. We're kind of by ourselves, so having a chainsaw is essential, and you have the most responsibility out of anybody else on the crew.
Now let's look back at your fire department's call statistics from November 17th through November 30th. During that period, firefighters responded to a total of 7,594 calls for service, of which 5,665 were medical emergencies and 156 were fire-related calls. That's a lot of calls. Now, let's take a look at a few of those in more detail. On Monday, November 17th, firefighters were dispatched to multiple reports of a structure fire in the 44,700 block of King Street in Indio. The first arriving engine reported heavy smoke visible from the roof and requested a second alarm response. Firefighters were able to contain the fire to the area of origin inside the building within about 30 minutes. Imperial Irrigation District and Southern California Gas Company were requested to assist with utilities, and Indio officials responded to red-tagged a structure as unsafe for occupancy. There were no injuries to civilians or firefighters reported, and fire resources were on scene for about 3 hours working on overhaul and salvage. On Friday, November 21st, firefighters responded to a reported trash truck fire near the La Quinta Hotel at the intersection of Avenida Fernando and Eisenhower Drive in the city of La Quinta. The first arriving engine company officer reported a small trash fire in a commercial trash truck and requested 2 additional engines to assist. The fire was contained to the trash after about an hour, and resources were on scene for about 90 minutes working on overhaul. There was no damage to surrounding structures and no injuries reported. On Friday, November 28th, firefighters responded to a reported off-road vehicle accident in a rural area south of Mecca. A full remote area rescue response as well as an air ambulance was requested due to the location of the incident. Going off-road, a medical patrol made access to the location and began assessing the patient for their injuries. The patient was transported to a trauma center by air ambulance for further treatment of moderate injuries. On Saturday, November 29th, multiple 911 calls were received reporting a house on fire in the 81,000 block of Kingston Heath in La Quinta. The first arriving engine reported a 3,000 square foot, single-story, single-family dwelling with smoke and fire visible from the roof, prompting a second alarm response. During the course of fighting the fire, 2 firefighters sustained minor injuries and were transported by a ground ambulance to a local hospital for continued treatment. The fire was contained to the structure, which was destroyed, and fire crews were on scene for about 4 hours performing salvage and overhaul operations. 2 adults were displaced and declined assistance from the American Red Cross.
We're here today at the annual Peace Officer Public Safety Awards in the Coachella Valley. It gives us the opportunity through the Palm Desert Chamber of Commerce to recognize various firefighters and administrative staff from the Coachella Valley for achievements both in response and achieving goals within the departments. The significance of these awards is our ability to appreciate and provide public recognition of our employees who on a daily basis do amazing work that goes unseen. This is one of those rare opportunities where we get to put them in front of their peers and the public to recognize them for their work and their contributions to our success. The benefit of this particular award ceremony is that we get to blend both the public safety side of EMS and fire response with our law enforcement partners. On a daily basis, we're responding together on many calls of a variety of types. So coming together and recognizing one another is always a great opportunity and highlights what partnership can bring in our community. Finally, I'd just like to say thank you to all the award winners. We appreciate and we're proud of you. The hard work that you do on a daily basis is what makes our department successful.
We had a few promotions and retirements throughout the month of November. Congratulations to those who promoted, and we wish our retirees nothing but the best on their new chapter in life. That's all for this week's Report on Conditions. Follow your firefighters in action on our social media at Cal Fire RRU and stay up to date on incidents happening countywide. If you caught any great footage of our firefighters at work or out in the community, send them to us at rrupio@fire.ca.gov. On behalf of your Public Affairs and Community Education Bureau, I'm Jasmine Wood. Thanks for watching.